talk about Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, both of them trying to get at Terence Crawford. How about they just fight each other? You know what I'm saying? For the right to fight Bud, or make themselves big enough to fight Bud. Because right now, I don't think neither one of them is, stature enough, big enough to fight Bud. And obviously Bud is trying to gun after that Canelo fight, that cash out. And he said that had to be his last fight. So, you start thinking about, okay, if Canelo won't fight him, which me and Gabriel Rosado agree that it's all risk for Canelo, no reward. And only risk for Terence Crawford is getting hurt or quitting, which would, mess his legacy, especially talking about Jermell Charlo, how he quit, and then, Jermell Charlo losing the way it did took away another legacy building fight for Terence Crawford, okay? And then he got into some trouble or whatever. We don't know what that's going to be. We know boxing ain't got no sanctioning grounds. I mean, even Muhammad Ali refused to fight, in the war in Vietnam. They still found places for him to fight, even though they tried to, blackball him. And whatever reason it is traffic right outside my crib. Like, wow. Can't make this shit. I'm like, man, I'm getting out early. It's a big ass line down here. People want to drive crazy and shit. But I don't even know no other alternative way to go around here. I would have to go. There ain't even no point. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is at that point, man. It's to the point where, they ain't really, like, you start looking at the opponents and you're like, all right, Tim Tszyu probably makes sense in Australia, or just to call yourself a 4-division world title holder. I mean, Danny Garcia-Lara, they supposed to be fighting back in August. That still ain't materialized. I think Danny said something to YSN Media. Shout out to my dude from Philly. He said something to YSN Media about, a remix date. They supposed to be fighting for the Super WBA title, I think left behind by Gennady Golovkin. I think Arizona Lara is the Super WBA 160-pound champion. The winner is supposed to fight Michael Zephyr. He's the mandatory. But that might make the most sense. Tim Tszyu get a belt. Fight the mixed winner of Lara, Danny Garcia-Zara, call yourself a 5-belt division champion, and retire. But then again, financially, that probably don't do it for him. Financially, that probably don't do it for him. So for whatever reason, we literally not moving. Oh my God, people just want to drive crazy, bro. I'm trying to see, like, what the fuck is going on. Somebody must have gotten into an accident. Had to. Because it ain't never this long in front of my crib. I told you, they drive the worst in the suburbs, bro. It's the worst drivers of all time, bro. You got the mix of people who drive, who don't care. And then you got the mix of people who drive too slow. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about it, man. It's to the point where, it really ain't that other Canelo type option to move on to. So, you start thinking the next biggest fights. Jermell, he out of there. Canelo, that is what it is. He could choose to fight or not to fight. But me personally, if Tim Tszyu can get another belt, cool. I mean, you got Virgil Ortiz, Jerron Ennis out here. I mean, they ain't as big as Teo and Devin. But if Devin and Teo fight, maybe they can produce somebody that's attractive to Terence Crawford at 147. I mean, I see why they say why they want to fight him. I mean, some money involved, and he almost 40. So maybe you catch him falling off a cliff. You take his fan base, you become the money man. What YG say, I'm that nigga, Bank of America, account, got 6 figures. You become that nigga. Because Teo want to be a nigga. Until it's time to be one. Then that might be the best case scenario. Everybody wants something to be given to them. Everybody think calling somebody out is enough. You gotta go out there and earn it. And T.O. want to do everything but fight Devin Haney. And if you don't want to fight Devin Haney, and you want to go around saying we number one, we was undisputed first, which I wasn't. We beat the lineal guy, Josh Taylor. He took the easy guy, Regis, and all that. Well, why don't you go fight him and show us that he took the easy route? Why don't you go prove it to us that, you know, he ain't that good, and then you might make yourself an attractive opponent for Terence Crawford. But everybody just wanted to be handed to him in boxing. I say T.O., he had some tough fights. He earned a lot of shit, and he earned a lot of respect coming from somebody that wasn't highly touted out the amateurs and all that type of stuff. But, you know, in some ways, he like a black fighter. Don't nobody mess with Teofimo Lopez. He ain't got no fan base. He can do all the backflips and Fortnite dance and all the talking shit he do. He still ain't attracted nobody as a fan. I guarantee that flight attendant he was messing with never heard of him. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And she Googled him, oh, he's a boxer. Free come up. Yep. So, you know, he still got work to do. I mean, he's still fighting that circus and, you know, the Get Back Hotel, the theater room. You know what I'm saying? So he still got to build himself up into a hot commodity. He doing everything right. He knocking people out. He talking shit. He winning big fights. Doing backflips, twerking, doing the Fortnite dance and shit like that. Fighting on Hajj night. Fake retiring like somebody cared, and he figured out ain't nobody care. But you know, Devin Haney and him fight, that might be a fight that get them over the hump. To get a Crawford, maybe get a Spence. You know, to really call yourself number one. And you know, for Devin Haney to get a lot of hate, who he literally want to fight everybody. But then they praise guys like Tank Davis, who's blatantly ducking everybody. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And that's the crazy thing about the boxing game today. The fans are against the big fights, so it really ain't no pressure for the fighters to make the big fights. The fans talking about marinate. Yeah, marinating for a year is cool. When you start talking about 3, 4, 5 years, where the fighter's not even the same caliber of fighter that they once were, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I want the fights. Now I don't care about how big and how much money they get. I want premier fights. You know, and Teofimo Lopez and Devin need to fight. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They need to fight. So people can say what they want to say and believe what they want to believe. Them dudes need to fight. If it's to earn a Terence Crawford fight, if it's to settle who the best, number one, all these sparring stories and all that type of stuff, they need to go ahead and squabble. And really, they could become bigger and better. But instead, some guys just want to sit here and talk about how they are number one. Instead of proving that they are number one. It's different when you sitting on the throne like Canelo Alvarez. It's hella different. Because he making so much money, I don't hear what them pheasants say down there. They ain't no longer letting people walk up in the ring on him or walk up to his post-fight press conference no more. He got full protection. He done did what he did, and you know, the people who gonna like him. No matter what he do, the people who gonna hate him no matter what he gonna do. Gonna bring up the past or what he ain't did. It's gonna be hell tomorrow when it snows. For sure. This ain't really shitting. They out here bullshitting like a motherfucker. But you know, I just think they should go ahead, Haney and T.O. go ahead and dance and go out there and make yourself an attractive option. You know? But everybody wants something given to them. That's what they want. They want something given to them. They want it packaged up and handed to them. You gotta go out there and earn this. In my humble opinion. Go ahead, bro. You gotta go ahead and earn this. And that's the honest truth. So, but it seems like the Lopez is just a delusion. My son, he's the best. I told you we beat Terence Crawford. Like, you couldn't even beat Camboso, bro. Y'all came up making excuses about Cambosos, just like y'all making excuses about not fighting Devin Haney. Oh, you my son. My son doesn't need Devin Haney. Devin Haney needs us. Like, who the fuck is y'all, bro? Y'all couldn't sell out a Blockbuster right now. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Let me know what you girls and guys think, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, push the chance to get notifications. You know, live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ313, Venmo CJ313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find it on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify.